Today we're at Zachary Taylor State Park, and we're waiting to go on a tour of Fort Taylor. There will be a guided tour with a ranger. He's going to explain the fort to us. I will film some of that for you, show you that, and show you the fort here at Zachary Taylor State Park. This is Fort Taylor. Let's go do it.
But there's a lot of artifacts in here from the Civil Wars. All this stuff is actual real, except the cannon. The cannon is a new cannon we had especially made for us. And one year on the 4th of July, we fired the cannons every hour on the hour. Well, Mickey Mouse boat was in the harbor, and they rode by us. When they rode by us, one of the guys fired the cannon, and it didn't shoot out anything, but it echoed. It hit the side of the boat, and it rippled the boat. It came back and hit the fort, and bounced back and went back and hit the boat again. Wow. And we got in so much trouble. They told me, you can't shoot Mickey Mouse. You know what? There's the little kids on there and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, leave it alone. They used salt water and sea sand to build this because it was here and it was free. So if you want to taste some salt, you see the white stuff oozing out? That's from the sun pushing it out to get all the impurities out. And they're still coming out to this day. But that's what happens when you use salt water and sea sand. The reason this fort is sitting here is because the British kept trying to come out and take America over. So that's why this is sitting here. They'd load that thing up, they shot a 5-foot tall projectile, had a cavity in it where you could put a couple 100 pounds of gunpowder. And on the nose of it, they had a fuse. Remember the old days when they had to wind your watch every day to keep time? Well, that's what this fuse was based on. At a certain amount of time, it would go shoot that distance and then blow up and throw shrapnel all over the place. It just flattened everything out. It also, when they started firing and practice firing, they were blowing the doors and the windows out of the wooden houses in Key West. And they told the fishermen, don't come in front of the fort, we're going to roll you over, because we're going to fire these cannons. So that was the things, and they had to pay for the doors and all that stuff the guys lived in town. But that's another point of the matter. Prison cells in here. That were for disorderly soldiers that would go to town and get drunk and come back and raise a little cane. And Dr. Mudd, you heard of Dr. Mudd, the guy that set John Wilkes' leg? Well, they put him in prison. And he was here a couple days. Then he got shipped off to Fort Jefferson, which is about 70 miles west of us. And he was there for 4.5 years, and they went to see him. And all the soldiers and the officers said, you know, we don't think he had anything to do with that killing. We think he should be set free because he cured so many people from yellow fever that we think he should be free. So they let him go. He got to go back to be with his family and spend the rest of his life out there. This here's the title of Flesh Latrine, folks. A lot of people like to get in there and take pictures of it. So if you want to get in there and take a picture, you can see there's no privacy or this or that about it. But twice a day, the tide comes in and flushes it. Well, in Key West, we don't measure our tide in feet. We measure it in inches. And this became a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Yellow fever was a big killer around here this time, and dysentery and all kinds of stuff like that. Let's go down to where the cannons are. This cannon here is called the Columbiad cannon, the one with a collar around it. They designed this cannon in the 1840s. And this cannon, when they built the cannon, they built the barrel and then they put it through the curing process. Then they brought it up and drilled the barrel out. Well, this Rodman guy, these other cannons like that we just saw, he decided to build a cannon. This was right before the Civil War. He decided to build a cannon, and what he did, he built the cannon, he drilled the barrel out. This guy didn't drill the barrel out. He drilled the barrel out and then put it through the curing process. That got all the impurities out of it. Finally, the people that were buying the cannons said, you know what, these cannons are blowing up now. If you want us to see this cannon, you got to sit on the barrel when we pull that trigger. So he said all of a sudden nobody was building cannons no more, except the pros. This here cannon here This is called a Parrot rifle cannon. It was designed before this fort was even finished. And it weighs, right on the barrel, it weighs 26,910 pounds. That's just the barrel alone. It had to sit on a carriage that weighed just this much. On this side here, WPF. So we know exactly where this cannon was cast. WPF stands for West Point Foundry. Right across the street from West Point was a foundry that built these cannons. You can feel the rifling. It's not got a smooth bore. It's shot just like a projectile, a bullet. From that collar there to here is a quarter of a turn, so it's spinning. And then enough gunpowder, it can sink into 8 foot of brick and then blow up. But anyway, he found all the artifacts, and he found this big pile of rust. He didn't know what it was, but there was a nameplate, a brass nameplate. It said Marine Aerated Freshwater Apparatus designed by Dr. Normandy in London, England in 1842. He designed this for ships coming to America, so they didn't have to carry so many barrels of fresh water, is what we know as desalination today, pretty much, but this was an evaporation system. They could make 7,000 gallons a day out of salt water. That was their source of salt water. This machine just did it. There was one here and one in Fort Jefferson, and the one in Fort here was sent up to Tallahassee. They rebuilt it, and they said, we're going to give it back to you when that museum gets air conditioning. So I don't think I'm going to see it in my life. Everything else was getting this place together and everything else. This walkway here, that's called the Powder Monkey Run. When they fired a cannon, the boys would go down to the battery, get a couple pounds of gunpowder, and bring it to wherever he's sitting, where they're firing the guns. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go. This is the end of my tour. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming, guys. Okay, guys, the park's over until sunset, and thanks for coming.
So these are the rooms that they store the cannonballs in. There's a pile of cannonballs. And then over here, I think, is the projectiles. A little different from cannonballs. More like missiles. And those are cannonballs. Almost look like bowling balls with the hole in them. I'm sure that'd be a little bit heavy.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
Look, they were excavating up here, and that's the cannons. They're still in the ground.
That's where they found them buried.
Yeah. And they left a bunch in the ground. Left them exposed so we could see how they were found. Amazing. Yeah, you can still see the track that the cannons ran on. That half circle. That would be the rotation, the span with which the cannon could aim its guns. And they'd have guns at each one of those stations all along the top of the fort. Wow, that was a blast. That fort is very interesting. A lot of history there. Really glad we went on that tour and saw it. Well, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.
I burned out like a wandering ember. I shone bright, then my journey was over. What I sought when I ran was back where I began. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I gained all that I knew for a price. In the end, what I found was nowhere near as nice. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. Though I fought with my claws and teeth, though I elbowed my way to a seat, there'd be no kind of peace like you beside me. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Nothing's as it seems in the photos. Nothing is as sweet going solo. Nowhere I can ramble or roam change my mind, could slow my coming home. I'm coming home. Oh, I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light, I'm coming home. I'm coming home.